Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to an impromptu episode of the Open Door Policy. This is season 2, episode 3. I have an awesome guest coming on tonight. He's a journalist. He is taking a look at some of the more on the street types of things here in Ontario and his hometown, and he's reporting on them. And it's nice to see that some of his work is getting around. So before I bring him on, we do have a little surprise for you. Brennan's back. Brennan, how are you, man?
How are you, brother? How you been? Happy holidays and happy 2026. Are we going to make it?
We're going to make it. So this is your premiere episode. So welcome back.
This is it. We're episode 3 right now, aren't we?
We are. You're a little tardy, but I covered it for you.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, you're holding the fort. You're anchoring it. You're grounding it. That's it, man. Like my tardiness, it comes with not because I'm just being lazy. It mostly comes with a little bit of other things going on and life and stuff like that. But hey, man, we're back. We're back at it, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion this evening. The state of the Western society at the moment. And to have Ajax on, who is a journalist himself that's been documenting the collapse in certain areas of his region. We're gonna have his words, and then we'll just go with what's going on in with Davos. We'll discuss a little bit of that, discussing the direction of the Canadian Prime Minister, the government. We'll see what the world is doing. Right? We're not professionals, but we're entertaining as fuck, aren't we?
And it's nice to see it coming from a Canadian perspective. So without further ado, Ajax, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, nice to finally meet you guys. Nice to join your channel, and I can't wait to speak with your audience. My name is Ajax, George Ajax, but I just go by Ajax. And so I was a refugee coming here from Sudan back in '98, and I came to Canada, became a naturalized citizen. Assimilated, that's important, very important. I assimilated here, and then I just grew up with Canadian values, and it's just something that I've held dear to me. And as soon as I started getting older, I started seeing the fuckery, and I started seeing how messed up the Liberal government really was. And I started reporting on some immigration issues because I seen what my mom went through to become a Canadian citizen and how tough that was and how easy it is now. And I just wanted to be vocal about it. So now I just started talking about the Islamification, the invasion, the government corruption, just all the all the fuckery that Canada has been going on. So that's what I'm here for. And I'm just here to speak my words.
Super, man. And it's whereabouts are you? What region are you right now in Canada? Where
London, he's got that 519 area code. He's down my way.
Yeah, okay. Southwestern.
So what's going on in London?
London, you can say it's two things. I would call it. I honestly think it's one of the gayest cities in the whole country. If you want to compare it per capita, because Toronto is obviously pretty big and has some gay shit, and then Vancouver and all that pretty gay. But one thing that London is pretty known for is we're called Zombie City, and I've been saying this since 2020. When you go downtown, you just see people doing the fent bend, and it is just very sad because they are actually enabling it. We have safe injection sites beside YMCAs, beside daycares, beside it's insane everywhere. So
right,
it's just disgusting. I even did a story about it one time in college when I was studying journalism, and there's a dealership, a used car dealership that was there for 20, 30 years. They put a safe injection site beside it. 2 months later, they had to shut down. No customers, homeless people breaking into the cars. It was just very, very disgusting.
Right. So like LGBTQ kind of city. Is that
Yeah. There's like
like a very like
every
the
street has a rainbow flag painted on the crosswalks, and
pretty
when
woke.
yeah, it's very, very woke.
Okay.
It's sad, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, no, I've been in London a few times. It was a hockey college town.
Yeah, but the only difference is I'm talking about because for the locals, when it's like between between the months of September to April, this city is booming with students. We got Western, we got Fanshawe, two of the biggest colleges in Canada, and then we have the London Knights, who are like one of the best junior teams in Canada. So that's all we really got. But when it comes to the other locals, it's just like we really have nothing. They just have drugs and alcohol, and it's a very sad city.
It's funny you say that. This, I have this video up here. This is what Chatham is like. Well, Chatham's always been kind of known as kind of like the middle city, like you'd know that, but it's only getting worse. And when you talk about enabling, like the old walking paths aren't even safe to walk on. And here's just an example of it that I wanted to share with you, because I'm sure that I've seen a couple of videos that you had just walking the streets, and it was wild.
Mental health in the middle of the woods.
This is you walking in the woods now, Troy?
This is just a nature walk me and my buddy were doing. No idea that we're walking into this.
Sounds like a scary movie in the daytime.
We're not going any further.
You're not going any further.
By the sounds of the ranting.
There.
Sounds like a schizophrenic break.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Very Gotham.
I mean, that's indicative of excited delirium, right?
Person we've come across camping in these woods.
Camping.
I'm not going any further though.
So you bringing this up, you seen the video that I did about the homeless industrial complex then, right?
I did.
If you want to call it that, because yeah, like I don't even know how much money Chatham Kent has spent on homelessness, but
that was Chatham. That was in Chatham.
Yeah, and I don't know how much money they've spent on homelessness. It's probably not that much because it is just more of a smaller town. It's like kind of like Sarnia sizes, right? Mm-hmm. So,
but even the jails are getting full. A lot of the jails are getting filled up because of it.
But where is this money going? Because like, how do you fix that? How do you stop people that are so far gone that there is no saving themselves?
Right.
Well, because like people always ask me, how are you going to end homelessness? How would you end homelessness? It's like there is like 3 steps to do it, but it's not like they're not nice steps. So
you can't just put them in the jail, because like when they put them in the jails, they don't wane them off of whatever they're on, right? Like if they're on methadone, like they get like the high dose all the time. There's no waning, and then release when they're released, right? So it's not fixing it even when it's supposed to be rehabilitative, even at the jail level, right? So how do we fix that?
So do you guys think that this was like almost like an engineered collapse? Like, is that, or do we think that this is just a human cycle where you have economies that just get to a breaking point and this kind of happens?
I would say it's a little bit more of both. Like,
yeah,
it's more of like you ever hear the saying like, "Don't let a good disaster go to waste."
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, they see the collapse and they're like, okay, we can make some money off this. Let's try to figure out a way to like turn this into a whole industry and just get people cycling in and out, in and out. It's kind of like how how the United States did the prison systems way, way, way back. It's definitely like enabled by the government. I'm trying to find this one video right now where it's one of these safety ministers, not the actual minister, but like one of his workers, and she was asked, do taxpayers pay for crack pipes? She was like, no, we don't pay for, they're not paying for crack pipes. And then they asked again, do they pay for crack pipes? And then she was like, well, they pay for safe injection or safe usage type of stuff. So some of that money does go towards crack pipes. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys stopping this, or are you guys keeping this going? Like,
Yeah, like Ajax, like there's a ton. Like I've seen some good reporting on all that, right? Like safe ejection sites and stuff like that, where you, like you were saying, like it's turned into a complex. It's like they're generating money. They're making it into a part of a some sort of bigger machine than what it needs to be. And it's like, is that the right way to move people in a society to profit off their pain? You know, like for me personally, at first you get the idea where you're this like safe ejection site. Okay, have some empathy, have some compassion. You know, sir, that idea was served to us, and it was like, okay, some of us jumped on board, some of us were like skeptical, right? But then over the last close to a decade now, dealing with the opioid crisis, that has turned into more of a money making machine, like a way for governments to gain more money, get more money, companies to get more contracts on these like safe injection sites and building up these sites and stuff like that. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know how deep it goes. I haven't really investigated, but it doesn't sound for me. It's
yeah, because I would say like,
solve the problem.
yeah, like the only way to really solve it is like it's a street. You just got to go to every single homeless person or anybody that's going through it, and give them three options. Be like, you can either get a job. Well, okay, first of all, you got to give them hope. If we're gonna be sympathetic, you got to give them hope. Give them something to live for, because most of these people on the street don't really think they have anything to live for. They feel like they have no family. They get stepped over all the time. Nobody even looks them in the eye. You got to give them some hope. But
That's
then
right.
once you give them like some type of purpose, you go to them and be like, one, okay, try to get a job and reintegrate into society. If you can start doing that, then that's fine. A lot of them you can't really do that to because they're so far gone they can't reintegrate. So it's like either we got to open up mental institutions or jail. That's literally the only three options you got, and not jail like you're gonna get released. Like that's just it.
The asylum.
Exactly.
Like that. Well, they'll probably bring them back too. It's
yeah, and that's the only way to get these people off the streets. Because and it's not even the fact that like these homeless people are different nowadays. It's not like the same homeless person, but like from like 20 years ago, it'd be like, oh, the one that's gonna cut your grass for some stuff or like wash your car.
It's terrifying. They're
yeah.
Scary. Well, you do the reporting in London, and you've seen the Fenty fold and all of the, like, there's areas that you just cannot go. Have you had the opportunity to even talk to some of the first responders? Like Brennan and I used to be first responders for a living, and I could imagine I mean, I'm sure you can't talk to them exposing their names and stuff, but like they would probably tell you like what their call volume is.
Yeah, no, I work for LHSC, so I do talk to a lot of the EMTs all the time, and they just say that like it's just gotten to a point where they don't even like have calls or anything. They just drive around just waiting. Like they don't even settle their ambulance anywhere. They just drive around, just be like, because it's like every 15-10 minutes, like after they drop someone off, they have to go back. It's like, oh. But yeah, at the end of the time, yeah, they still don't tell me like the details, because sometimes I don't even want to hear them details, because the situations they find some of these people in, it'll be like someone overdosed and like the person found them is still tripping, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's I mean, I can speak in Halifax, and I don't know, Troy, if you could speak in Windsor. Currently, right now in Halifax, like it's gotten a little bit cleaner since like 2022. It's like 2022 downtown Halifax. You didn't even want to walk down there. It wasn't the greatest time, but you know, you got the fentanyl bend and stuff going on, and random corners of the streets. But it has cleaned up a little bit, but we'll see in the summertime, because most of the time, right, like that's whenever like all the encampments start building up again because they get taken out of their winter housing. And then it's like, what are we trying to do here as a community? And it doesn't seem like the government has any really options, or we're not just being fed with the right direction on that.
Well, sorry. I was just going to say, I can speak for 2017 Victoria, BC. Back when the encampments first started, and they made a big political thing about it, where everybody was on Victoria Park in front of the courthouse, and there was nothing they could do to get them out of there, except and we joked about it. We're like, you know what, they'll probably use the fire code to get them off that property, and sure enough, they did. Like, that was the only recourse they had legally to get them off it for tentage, but they weren't doing anything else, right? So it's
literally just gonna have to be tough love. You're gonna have to cut every single one of these. Like if you want to get your benefits, drug test. You want to, because a lot of these people are getting like ODSP, or they're getting welfare, or they're whatever they're on or something. They feel like this is just their life, and even if you wanted to, like, even if you tried to like put them in a home, they don't want to be in a home. They'd rather be out there. So
so you think it's kind of like a service guarantee citizenship type of fix would be the thing?
We need to go back to just
like a meritocracy, hard meritocracy, or what do you do?
Work for it and you get it. And we don't, like, I'm sorry if you don't, if you can't apply for a job because you're too busy out there getting high, you can't. I'm sorry, I can't give you this month's welfare. You're gonna have to figure it out. Like, it's
I agree. I share the same mindset on that. It's very much. What's the premier of Manitoba? He had a speech just recently about meth addiction downtown Winnipeg, and he, in his words, he said he pretty much said, like, they don't get to determine how we live in our city anymore. Like a little bit like
like trying to like actually put the foot down. And but at the end of the day, it's like, it's a big population of our people. Like, what do we do with them? Do we put them on Manitoulin Island and tell them to figure it out? Like,
I know.
No, well, my spouse is actually from Manitoulin, and she's seen how bad it got up there when the not the COVID thing, but the residential stuff went through the roof, and they just bought it out, and it's completely falling apart. It almost seems like it was kind of, I don't know, it's just the perfect storm.
The Liberal government has literally been destroying this country for so long, and I feel like the reason why they're doing all this is because they want every single citizen at least reliant on the government for somehow, some way. They're literally trying to destroy the middle class. They're trying to destroy meritocracy. They're trying to enable crime. They're trying to enable just degeneracy. And when you try to like talk to them about something good, like they don't want to talk about Christianity. They don't care about all the churches being burnt. They don't, but they'll let the Islams do whatever they want. But God forbid you go to burn a Quran in front of them. You'll get charged tomorrow.
Yep. And that's the thing. People who will stand up for that, they don't even know their own Bible or the Quran. They'll just side with it because it's the fad thing to do. It's just like, why don't you go and read the two and compare them? If they're not that hard to read, I have multiple Qurans and I have multiple Bibles, and they're completely in line but also opposed to each other at the same time. And it's like oil and water. There's no way that those two ideals could live together, because one is like live and let live, and the other one's like, no, if you're not if you're not with us, you're against us. And that's how it is.
I know it's very tragic. Like this one girl I was talking to, she has a son in like 7th grade or something like that, and they had like a parent teacher meeting, and then like one of the parents who was Muslim brought her son in to like talk about like how like disgusting the Christians have been treating them and how like racist people are and stuff like that. And they all had to just sit there and then just kind of like listen and take it. And I was just like, doesn't your kid go to a Catholic school? She's like, yeah. I was like, could I go to a Muslim school, put my kid in there? Even like not even just go to a PTA. Could I even put my kid in one of these schools? No, it's insane.
Yeah, that's wild. I came from a Catholic school and it was the same thing, right? Yeah, it's inclusivity, like it didn't work even then because there'd be arguments about it. Like it would just kind of be like, you're in school, just go through religion class and that'd be the end of it.
The
But
intent is good. I like the intent is fine. That's what I like about liberals is like they like when you really think about it, even though they are evil as hell, like evil as fuck, they think they're doing good. Like
well,
they
the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right?
yeah.
And that's what they're doing about it, right? Like you said something in one of your videos where it said people are pretty much becoming apologists through their own self-righteousness, right? Because they have to be they have a savior complex because they've had it so good that they project.
What a quote.
Oh yeah, it's called suicidal empathy.
That's it.
Yeah, where it's
We'll
like
shoot off on that. Explain that. What a quote.
So it's basically suicidal empathy is where you care about everything around you so much to the point where you're destroying yourself. You don't even care about yourself. Liberals will appreciate a rock more than their own life. You know what I mean? Like they'll appreciate the trees. They'll tie themselves to a tree knowing it's gonna get cut down because they think they would rather die for the good because they feel so privileged. Yeah, that they're like, I need to do something. And that's actually a part of the reason why you actually see a lot of kids, like especially like white kids turning like transgender and stuff like that, because they want to be a part of a minority. Because right now, not right now, but apparently being a minority is like cool and stuff like that. And being
in pockets,
yeah, and like being white is like it's not looked as good, and it's like they think anything white is evil, which is inherently racist itself. But
yeah,
they're just like,
it's the victim Olympics. It's he who has the better thing can succeed.
Everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be a victim, and you can't be a victim when you are a blue-eyed blonde kid that not even just grew up in a rich lifestyle, grew up in the suburbs. And living in the suburbs, those people are still living paycheck to paycheck, but they don't care. They just see the 2-car garage and they're like, "Oh, you're rich."
Yep.
Like, oh, no, we're not actually.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, we're basically.
And those are the ones who'll keep their head down and say, "Yep," and that's just where it goes, right?
Yeah. Then when the ones that do say something or want to like stand up for themselves, as they actually should, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a misogynist.
Where do you think this mindset came from? Do you think it came from the institutions like the academics, universities? Preached.
Okay, let's get deep into that then. Okay, you know how like men are more like merit based. They like see an object, they know what it is, and like they know what like it's just more objective. Women are subjective. They're more about feelings, and it's like you could tell a girl the truth, but she'll still cry because of the way you said it and stuff like that.
Yep.
How many male teachers did you guys have in elementary school towards high school? High school, will have a little bit more male teachers, but like, let's talk about the formative years.
Wow.
I had
one.
Exactly. And it was probably in like the 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're being institutionalized from the jump. And now these teachers coming out of liberal arts schools, because the universities are training these teachers to be liberals, and then the teachers go become teachers in elementary schools, and then they got a little pack of minions that they can just indoctrinate into liberal.
Then it becomes the going from the factory system to whatever this new thing system is.
But that's where it gets weird, though. That's where I keep getting weird because, like, I said this to you guys know Michelle Ferrero, right? Ferrari or some shit like that. She used to be a member of parliament in Toronto, I believe, like a couple years back. I don't think she won her race, but I said to her, it was like if you're liberal when you're young, how'd it go? Hold up. it's like let me just pull that up.
You eventually flip. I think it's you start
Yeah.
liberal, you switch to conservative once you realize what the real world is. Or something.
Exactly. It's like if you're a liberal when you're young, you have a heart, but if you're a conservative when you're old, you have a brain. And let me just actually get the complete quote because I'm butchering the fuck out of it. Hold on, where is she? There she is. So I said, if you're not a liberal when you're young, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative when you're old, you have no brain. But the reason why I sent that to her is because all the older people now, like the boomers, I have no idea how old you are. You said you're retired, which you don't look retired. So I'm guessing you're probably not in your like 50s past, are you?
I'm 40.
Okay. So you're not like a boomer. You're like a millennial, right?
We're millennials.
Yeah. Okay. So
we're mid-lennials.
We're talking like Gen X and boomers. Gen X and boomers are the ones who overwhelmingly voted Mark Carney into power. And Gen Z predominantly voted conservative. Why is that? Now it's completely separate. It's like the younger people are all the conservatives and the older people are all the liberals. You go to any protest, any one of these protests that want to protest Donald Trump or Venezuela, try to find me one kid that's in their 20s. You may find like one, but they might be a little retarded. But other than that, like try to find me one.
And yeah, it's kind of strange that we've gone from like we're from the 90s kids. We grew up in the 90s, so it's like we went from like trash TV, like I remember when cartoons were wholesome, and then I remember when it slowly like turned to trash TV throughout time, and then trash TV was like on in between cartoons, and it's almost like it just kind of adapted us to kind of look towards that, and that's kind of what politics has now become. It's all just people the tribalism has gotten so bad that it becomes trash television.
Interesting.
And nobody really cares about what's actually happening. They just want to see the other guy fall. It's got to the point where there's no semblance of middle ground for some reason, and it makes no sense.
Tribalism has always been a part of the human trait. That's always been and it always will be. There's nothing that we're going to stop with that. Like it's always going to be the Raiders versus the Dolphins, no matter what. But what before happened was people could have conversations with each other and like sit down and be like, okay, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? And actually like, and even if they would disagree, they could still sit down with each other. But what the news decided was they wanted to exploit that and pin everybody against each other. And Donald Trump didn't really help with that. He just kind of did make I wouldn't say worse. He just kind of like pointed out the obvious. And then the news kind of just went psycho and just pinned everybody against each other. And now it's just, there's no going back. It's always going to be us versus them.
Yeah, I would add on to that, like the news, the algorithms, social media, like anything to do with all that, man. Like it's a machine and it drives money. It drives the awe factor. Like it's rage bait. Mm-hmm. And it really drove this division in between different mindsets.
It's two movies, one screen. Two movies, one screen.
Two movies, one screen, man. Like, yeah, exactly. And it's like we can have differences. But like you're right, Ajax. Like I mean, back in like we can have differences, but we always sat in the table and we can respect each other and work towards. But then it turned into it's disgusting. Yeah, it's annoying, and it's really hard to live in a world where you're just kind of like you're trying to stay balanced and grounded through all this kind of nonsense on both sides. The polarization of these of the politics and really
you can't even hide from politics anymore. Like if you wanted to like be like, I'm just going to stay out the way. I'm not going to do anything. Let me just drive to work today. And you drive to work and you look up and there's just a bunch of Palestinian flags. You're like, fuck.
Well, actually, going to that to politics, since we're there, you put out a pretty good clip. Let's talk about it. Like you came from South Sudan like 25 years ago or so. And you guys went through the immigration process and you made a good point about how it is today. So like let's kind of just break it down from what you went through to what you're seeing now.
So what my mom and I went through is when we got here, we came here as refugee statuses because Sudan was in an all-out civil war. Like they killed her whole family. She was the only one that survived that shit. So then once she was lucky enough to get away from that and had me in Ethiopia, and then we came here on refugee status from Jean Cartier, which is one reason why you're going to see a lot of liberals winning too, because my mom, even though she hates some of the shit that liberals do, she tells me to vote liberal every single year because they're the ones that saved our lives. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, but I'm never going to vote that way. But so then we came here, we became PRs, and she was always telling me, like, we're gonna go back home, like we're just here, like we're not gonna stay here. And I'm like a kid, I didn't know what she was talking about. But then like the war just kept getting worse and worse, and then she's like, okay, I guess we're just gonna have to settle here. And then we became citizens, and we started when I was like 5. I didn't get my citizenship till I was like 12 because of all the rigorous paperwork, all the studying my mom actually had to do to become, like, she had to read the whole Charter of Rights of Freedom, go stand in front of a judge, say an oath. They even quizzed her on like some random Canadian facts and stuff like that. Like, oh, do you know this? Do you know that? And she was like, yep. And then they finally gave her citizenship. We did the ceremony. Boom, boom, bow. Now you can just do it through an app. And I'm just like, how the hell? Wait a minute. These people are coming here and they're getting government money. My mom had to struggle on freaking welfare, not even like no government checks coming in, just straight welfare for like 10 years until she got a job, and now she's a head nurse at a hospital. Like, what is going on here? But nope, now these people are just coming in, getting enabled. You can make $80,000 a year just for doing nothing. It's like, oh, what the? I don't even make $80K a year, like, so. And that's why I got really passionate about it, because like,
and that's what's going to drive the tanking of the economy. The more that you dish out, the more that's just going to implode on itself.
Well, they're going to keep printing money regardless. They're going to keep, like, our taxes don't go to money. They just ship our taxes overseas or put them in their own pockets. If they ever need to do something for the Canadian people, they'll just print it.
Which makes it inherently useless and shows you money.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just value the hell of our dollar.
So why do you think it's like this? If we know that this is how it's going down and all of these things, like what is the end goal? Like honestly, like what is this for? Why? Like
one world government. Like, if we're actually gonna like really think about it, like we are so damn close, and especially with this meeting at the World Economic Forum, they are so happy that they got Mark Carney, the guy that was he was on the board of the World Economic Forum before he was prime minister. So you guys know about the WF, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So how corrupt that shit is. Like, oh, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Come on, bro. What did you just say? So that's the point. So what they really want to do is they're trying to like break any individualism or any like type of coalition or any like defiance against the government, because they want everybody to be reliant on the government regardless of everything. They want 1984. That's all I'm saying. So I even like, I have I wish I wore it. Fuck, it's not here. I have a t-shirt saying 1984 is supposed to be fiction. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, damn.
That's funny you say that, because I said to Bren the other day, I was like, you know what, this is what Oceania is now, right? Once they get green, then that's what Oceania is. And there's going to be the three countries and one just sandbox just to test nuclear weapons and toys forever.
They want,
and then the clock just spins 3 ways every so often, right?
America, because the difference is America wants, what everybody wants is they want the Northwest Passage that's coming through. They want the Panama Canal. They want the Suez Canal, and they want the what's it called? The Balkans. They want all that for oil, for like oil routes and stuff like that, right? So that's really what the world is beefing about, because that's like, it's gonna be China, America, Israel. But America doesn't want that. America wants to basically run everything, but the World Economic Forum wants to run everything. But America is doing it on a conservative type of basis, where they're saying, hey, no, you got to earn your shit. But then the the World Economic Forum is more about like, you guys are our people. We're the only ones that are allowed to fly on planes and do private jets. You guys are supposed to just break rocks. And
well, so then that's what, because the way that seems to be working is like, what's the power play going to be then? Like, are they gonna thrust us into a small scale war skirmish, and then, or do we just read Revelation and the book of Revelation and just go, okay, this is where it's playing out here, and track it? Like, what are we at right now? Like, do you think we're going to get to that point where it's going to be like a small scale tactical nuclear war, this really small, maybe 1-2 exchange and that's it? Or do you think we're heading into
A war will happen. It just depends on who's on whose side, because right now there's like infighting. Like how is NATO gonna fight NATO in Greenland?
yeah,
Like, you understand? Like all
that'll
the
triple it.
allies
That'll
are
triple
saying
NATO immediately.
yeah, it's like if I was America and NATO was like, hey, we're sending troops. I was like, thank you. We need more troops. What the hell? We don't got to send our Americans. We're already footing 3/4 of the bill anyways. Finally, you guys did something. That's what I'm thinking. But like, what's tripping out is that what I'm very, very scared about is the China meeting. Like, China already
Yeah, here, put that up, Troy. I got the short clip on that. Yeah, that's a really good feed right here.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It's funny because when we were serving, I think that was under Trudeau.
As you
he
mentioned,
trained the Chinese troops.
mine is the first visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to China in nearly a decade. The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order. It's a partnership with new focus and greater depth and a sense of purpose. And I look forward to realizing its promise and building on it in the years to come.
I got one thing to say. To all the kids that I smoked weed with in high school, and when you guys were trying to like put me on this whole like Illuminati, like I triangle Jay-Z type shit, I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm dead sorry. I did not know this was actually gonna be true. I was always seeing they'd be like sending me videos, it'd be like the new world order. I'm like, come on. Like, I get it. I know there's some benevolent. I always told them the Illuminati isn't real. They're distracting us from something. There's something taking control in the world, but it's not the Illuminati. Then I see the New World Order thing this year.
Man. Well, then you soon realize the world's run by pedophiles and they protect pedophiles at all costs, and you're like, maybe it's true. Like, but what? So why is this happening?
Yeah, I have an actual weird take on why, like, not weird, unpopular take on why they're actually protecting pedophiles, but that's for a different conversation. But with the China thing, though, that's what I'm very scared of, is because like China's been spying on Canada forever. China's been eyeing Canada forever. We've been
those police stations in Toronto forever.
Yeah, Toronto, Vancouver, like secret police stations where they're just arresting Chinese nationals for not following the CCP. And I'm afraid that like they're gonna, because there was an article that came up the other day, I forget which outlet, but it was saying how Canada and China are going to talk together about like solving crime together and shit like that. And I'm like, what? And then I seen another article saying that they already have troops in like Alberta, like Chinese troops in Alberta, like training with Canadian troops. And I'm like,
they were doing that when we were serving. They were training them in mountain ops.
I'm like, what the hell? You guys keep talking about, yo, we don't deal with dirty regimes. We don't. China is the, okay, would I say the worst regime on the world? Probably not. Well, you could, the Uyghurs could probably dispute that, but
yep.
You don't want to, the end goal. Okay, remember how you were saying
you don't want to mess with a country that can play the long game.
Yeah,
that's I've always said that about China. They can play the long game. If it was 2,000 years ago, prophecy for set, they're going to just play it out and wait. That's what they're very good at.
That's what I was actually going to answer your question about what is the end goal about the Canada. It's communism. It's always been communism. It's always going to be communism. They're going to disguise it in socialism. That's why they look up to countries like China and talk shit about countries like America or like El Salvador, because those countries want nothing to do with communism. Communism is trying to take over. It's already taken over Canada.
Well, I had a conversation on my last episode with this guy named Adrian the Realist. Shout out to him. I'll actually get you guys to start talking. He's pretty cool. And we were just talking about this. The native treaties might be like the only thing that could be the Achilles heel to whatever they're doing, because that's what the Six Nations is all about.
Yeah, the king came and literally said, "This land isn't ours. This land belongs to the natives."
Yep, and all the treaties are still there, and it would be political suicide to break any treaty at all for that. And if that happens, he had said it would take it if a native leader would come into Canada, would be the one that nobody could defeat. If there was a native leader that ran, he would be untouchable, and that would be the deciding factor because they can't break those treaties.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Wow.
I thought of something somewhat along those lines where I was like, the only way to save Canada is through like the native treaties, yeah, but like through a different route. Where like if Donald Trump offered to buy some of these treaties off the natives, being like, hey, I know your reserves a dump. What if I could take care of it and install some type of politician that's going to be like pro-Trump?
Yeah, but that's what they said they live under now with their chiefs as well. Like he was very upfront with it too, right? He's like, some of them are just, in place, and that it, like, the word chief isn't even a native word. It was a white man word. And he went into like how that they would have like elder meetings and all of these other things, more like a tribunal type of thing, and they would all make their piece. It went really wild, and that was the thing. I really thought about that. I was like, if that's the case, that could be the big Achilles heel. And then what is that going to do for Canada, right? Because most of the prairies provinces, even with Alberta wanting to secede, apparently, how could they do that, like, without going through I think that's Blackfoot or Ojibwe territory anyways, without consulting them? Like, it's just such a, are they going to rob them again and repeat history?
Yeah.
Or are they going to side with them and go, you know what, we're done doing this, and this is what's like, is it going to be the people that have to side with the native side?
Well, unfortunately, even on the native side, it's a pipe dream, because like, there's the native, almost every reserve is corrupt, and they're getting their funding from the government in Canada. So
and that's what he was saying.
Yeah, a lot of chiefs would probably, the government would probably just give them kickbacks just to kind of stick with them and be like, hey man, just keep kind of like siding with us. We'll make sure you stay in that $10 million crib. You're good. But because like, where, like, that's what I've asked too, is like, where is all the money going that we send to the natives? And then you look at a chief's house and you're like, oh, that's where that went. So,
well, why have you never seen a native prime minister, right? And that's what he was saying, right? And some of them, he had said, would have to be able to run for parliament. You wouldn't be able to, because you would be a person with a nation within a nation, so you couldn't. So what you would have to do is give up your treaty rights to be able to run for parliament.
But isn't the Saskatchewan premier Native American? Well, Manitoba. Yeah.
He is.
I think he could be a premier, but I think you're right, Troy, on actually becoming the prime minister,
a national leader.
Yeah, prime minister, maybe premier. You can do premier, but we did just recently. Well, recently we have a governor general from Nunavut, right?
Which honestly, you know what would be a power play move if they had that rule to break? That would be a power play move for a vote.
Do they carry Canadian passports
to do that?
Natives carry.
That works.
I believe they do.
Status card, I do know.
Yeah, I know they got status, but like, I was actually wondering, like, are they actually Canadian citizens, or are they just kind of like that?
Well, they are, but he explained it like a nation within a nation, and that's why they can't even run for full office.
They have like dual like they'll carry the Canadian passport, but they also have their status card, and their status card is what they definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
A nation within a nation. See Israel for examples.
Right.
Don't know.
Well, it's crazy that all of these things always point back to the stuff that people would have said were a conspiracy now. But it's like there used to be a joke that the Alex Jones jar is always full, right? Like you're gonna be able to buy a house based on that.
Yeah.
And now it's not funny anymore because everyone's against nationalism, and nationalism in itself is essentially what the 90s liberals were, technically, if you really want to look at it. Like nationalism is supposed to be all people under one flag. It's a melting pot anyways. Like that's what you want like an identity. You want to be like, yeah, we're all here together. But now like it's poo-pooed as like something completely far right and bad, and it's
No, but here's the thing. There's something weird about Canadian liberals and like liberals in general, because like the Democratic Party in the 90s, we've seen videos of Bill Clinton saying we need to get these illegals out. We need Hillary Clinton, illegals out. Barack Obama, illegals out. But when we had Pierre Trudeau in, he was the first one to go to China. He was the first one to bring all the immigrants over. And unfortunately, his homeboy Jean Chrétien was the one that brought me over. But it's always been like the liberals in Canada are always like trying to bring people in, because I feel like they noticed, because like remember how I said that my mom always told me to vote liberal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder how many other mothers are saying that to their kids that are Canadian citizens, that they have kids here, and then they're like, these people saved us, we got to vote for them. Like
they feel like they owe their lives to
There's
the country.
huge division within families, huge divisions on just on voting. Just on voting, right? Yeah, definitely. This family is a liberal family, so everybody vote liberal. This family,
Exactly.
you vote conservative. You better vote conservative.
Yeah.
There was like, you can have that, and it's like back to that. Like we can have conversations and stuff like that, but like maybe in history, this has happened, cycled before, but me personally, this is the first time experiencing such polarization of division of like two different parties and the extremes on two different ways of ideology. In my opinion, government should be definitely quiet and work methodically and responsibly and take accountability. 100%. That's like the ultimate goal. But unfortunately, there has been one scandal after one scandal, one thing after one thing. There has been nothing but fucking stuff on that TV. News. Tomorrow, there's going to be 9 more clips about different shit, right? And it's hard to keep up as a fucking person.
That's what I was saying about it all being trash TV now, right? That's all that's because there's no substance in it. There's nothing important. It's just bam, 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 one nonsense after another. Just like, what's the distraction? What is the distraction? What is true anymore?
Yeah,
right?
that's why I'm
talking about aliens. The banks are now talking about aliens. Now they're talking about stuff in the ground over the pyramids everywhere. It's like, what's the distraction next? Is it because there's a collapse? Is this like what needs to happen for 1984 to become true? Like in the book, the Third World War happened. Is like how are they gonna make this happen? Is it going to be like Minority Report under Stalin, right? Show me the person, I'll show you the crime. Or is it
I was gonna say it'll probably be like show me the person and I'll find the crime. But yeah, I was just like, it's just trying to get every way to control every aspect of your life. That's why they want to have government healthcare, government daycares, government everything. Like I was actually about to say, like if you want to like, because the reason why the liberals have been the party of the criminals, the immigrants, the everybody else but the Canadians, because they want everybody to be reliant on the government. You want to disarm all of your citizens. Let the criminals go blasting. Let the criminals out, like just let them.
So just indentured servants, right? That's all they want.
And then now you're scared of gun violence. You're gonna want guns off the street. Let's start a program called the gun buyback, so everybody can buy back their guns. And liberals realize that 70% of the people are stupid, so that they're gonna assume that once everybody turns in their guns, that the criminals are gonna do the same thing. But
Yeah, I think
It's
what was the numbers that came out? It was like 25 guns were returned under that or something like that.
16.
ask Mr. Halifax. Ask Mr. Halifax. It was in his city.
Yeah, it was in Cape Breton. It was 25 people that showed up and 16 rifles.
Yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
was honestly thinking of doing a video that like it actually would probably get like flagged and taken down, but like I want to like go to like wherever these gun buyback stations are, kind of just stand outside there and like wait for the people to come in and offer more. Be like, how much? Okay, so the government of Canada is going to give you $250 for this antique musket. Let me buy it for $500.
Right. It'd be good. You know what? Like it's funny. Like that's what journalism used to be. That's what true journalism used to be. And
Yeah, that's actually one thing. Who said something about the news? I think it was you, but it's not the news in Canada. The only way to save Canada. That's why I'm super happy that X is not going to get. Well, who knows? But they said that they're not considering banning X in Canada, because if X gets banned, I think that's when total collapse would happen. Once they try to have a control on it, that's what they'll fucking do. China's gonna go to Canada and be like, "Hey, man, you guys have this problem with people talking and speaking their mind on the internet. Let me just give you a software to stop that shit." And
yep.
that'll be the total collapse, because you guys know you guys can't see any news on on Instagram.
I can't share it. I remember everything I used to share would get blocked on Facebook.
Exactly. So it's not really news in Canada. It's just an arm of the government. Like name all the countries that their number one news station is funded completely by the government.
I don't know.
Russia, China,
Russia,
Iran, North Korea,
Canada.
We
Cuba.
have our own.
Yeah.
Canada, CBC, CNN,
Canada.
Fox. No, it's all the same.
Canada's a little lax because we have Rebel News and Juno News, but they're not allowed to go to Parliament. They're not allowed to fly on the Prime Minister's plane.
Well, that's the thing, is what happens when journalists start going missing? Like what is when people don't even wake up then? What happens? Like if we don't remember 1939 when everything was going down over there, it was like the intellectuals were the first to go. People don't realize like it was very selective. They're like, oh, you're educated or you speak your mind or you're a journalist. They killed them all.
Here's the thing. The liberals have been completely brainwashed where they actually justify this shit though. Like we seen that full front and center when they were justifying Charlie Kirk's death. When they almost killed Trump, we seen how they were like, man, they should have hit him. It's like, so if a journalist does disappear, the government will just be like, this guy was a xenophobe. Look at the stories he was posting. He's evil. He right. Who cares where he's at? And they'll be like, yeah, what the hell? Why would he say that?
Weaponize it.
So they'll just justify it and then they'll rewrite history.
Right, yep. Right. It's a very tight time that we're all kind of experiencing and seeing firsthand. What did you think about? What do you think about like? What do you think about what's going on in Greenland? Like, and where do you think the direction that's going to take us?
Well, Kalshi is never wrong. I don't know if you guys know what Kalshi is, but it's never wrong. So it's saying Trump has a 47% chance of taking over Greenland. At the end of the day, what I think about Greenland is, again, it's whatever Trump does, we defy no matter what. Walks on water, he can't swim. Whatever he does, he defies. But what I find really funny is like, so Greenland is like 50,000.
56,000
basically Eskimos, right? And stuff like that. Maybe like a few Danish people here and there. But if you look at the history of Denmark, what Denmark did to Greenland, they went there and did the exact same thing we did to North America. Mm-hmm. Well, like what the Europeans did to North America, they destroyed their native culture, basically colonized them. So why is the world protecting colonizers? Aren't you guys the ones that's saying like, hey, we what do you call it? This is their land, this is native land, this is not our land. So then let the Greenland.
I think they're the only ones that aren't under treaty. As when Adrian was telling me this, I think they're the only ones who aren't under treaty, so they're sovereign. and can do what they want. So it would be kind of like all of the people of the North essentially would make this ultimate decision, but not like the population could do anything.
Yeah, but if
But
if they can do what they want, why can't Greenland go to diplomatic meetings without a Denmark representative? They always, anytime they need to talk about something, they always have to have a Danish person with them. They don't have their own autonomy. So
again, probably because a nation within a nation, right?
it's not even within the nation; it's its own nation. They just left it there. They just claimed it like a couple hundred years ago, and then they're like, okay, we're not going to maintain it, or
Yeah, because it's under the monarchy still, right? But still, if there's like a monarch, if the Danish monarchy has power over it, it's no different than Canada, right? With the natives here, it'd be a nation within a nation again. If they need a delegate for anything, that means they're not free.
But yeah, so it's like there's like so many different things that you could talk about. The minerals that are all there, that's maybe what they're beefing about. The like
Passage is going to be trillions of dollars.
Passage is really good. Yeah, and it's just and geopolitically, like that's going to be a nice place to put some defense missiles.
And well, that's the thing people also don't realize when they look at the maps that they went to school with. Like, you need to look at it from the top, and you realize how close we are. Like, Russia's literally next door to us,
right there,
and Alaska's kind of like there, and then Greenland's the next big slice, and that's pretty much it. I think Sweden.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's like, do you really think that they're actually gonna, like, who's gonna go to war? Okay,
somebody's gonna grab it. If America didn't, somebody will grab it. That's essentially what the argument is. And if things got bad enough, maybe they wouldn't be wrong. But it's just the way they're going about it and sensationalizing it, it's just ridiculous.
If they don't want America to start acting like an empire, if they want America to stop acting like an empire, stop calling them an empire. So then they'll do shit like that. The empire shit. Like, do you think Genghis Khan went through around asking people, hey, let's talk about this diplomatically?
Yep. Trump's looking at it going, I got 3 more years to get through this. Let's go. Like, that's probably like the power move. Like, when he came back in, he knew it would be his final term, so he could just do carte blanche. That's what's happening.
I don't even think they're really doing anything, because everything he's doing is just geopolitically. They're not really doing anything for America.
No, it's they're touting. What are they touting? The art of the deal. Every time something happens, they're touting that. Now they're saying he's like the world's greatest like business tactician. It's like,
well, he is, because take it in. Like, what if like he actually doesn't really want Greenland? He just wants to be able to put more bases on there to be able to monitor the Russian and Chinese submarines that are up there, which they are up there. There's Russian and Chinese subs in the Hudson Bay right now. Like, what if that's all he wants? But like, you gotta aim high and see if like once you be like, okay, fine, I'll just put bases here. That's really what you want. It kind of seems like both you guys are conceding when you're like, no, I'm not conceding. I was gaining. You think I was going to take over at Greenland? What are we going to do with that?
Exactly.
But what I just don't like,
and mineral rights and stuff, like there is a lot of like there's a lot of good mining up there, like copper, gold, silver.
No, that's not hard to gain. You just send one of your oil companies down there to set up shop, and it's not hard to gain.
I wonder if the United States, instead of making it like a state, they could just do what they did with Guam and make it a territory, and that could be a power move too. Yeah, that one would actually make sense, because that one they still maintain sovereignty, right?
And I think the Greenlandic people, like the actual native Greenlandic people, are like into it. It's just more of the European ones that are all against it. Colonialism. It's just whatever Trump does is bad. Orange man bad, which is what I hate, because I'm not even like a Trump fan or anything. Like, I never really liked him like before he was president. I always thought he was grimy and dirty and like just one of those like rich people that just kind of like just lived that life. But then when I started seeing how sick and disgusting that the politicians were, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad over there.
Well, what is your feeling on what's going down in the United States right now with like Minnesota's just imploding, and all of these other things are happening. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Just
they've already hit civil war. They just haven't declared it. Not declared, but like no news story has been like we are in civil war. The only way it'll actually be called a civil war is if an ice agent dies. Once an ice agent dies, it's gonna be curtains, because like I keep seeing videos of people just literally arming themselves. Well, not people, white liberals, but like there's
an interesting conversation about that where some guy, a reporter, was saying like we are so close, and he's an American reporter. We are so close at this like tipping point of civil war, especially when midterms happen and when they flip the House in Congress and then they impeach. Like that kind of set off, like with everything and all the tension and stuff like that. Like it's going to be an interesting time down south. Like I honestly, and I'm a fucking, I love going down in America, and I just came back from Florida, and I hang out with the people. Like the people are great. Everybody's just kind of on the same kind of mindset, but like the overall algorithm of the energy of that, of everything, and like it's unsettling. Like there is division, but for the most part, people are just they want to know what lane they're going in. You know,
it was never the United States of America. It's always been the divided states. That's why I don't.
It's always been,
yeah. Don't even know why.
I think I said this with you, Troy. Like even in the divided states, but you even have divided communities, right? Gated communities and stuff like that. Like they have their own police force in the community.
Yeah.
Which communities are doing that though? It's just the liberal.
Well, he's talking like, yeah. Exactly.
It's literally just liberal communities. Like it's a mind virus. It's it's a war against the truth. Because if you actually just start saying we came to a world where facts started becoming opinions. Like you say, hey man, I think the Somalis are committing a lot of fraud. Why are you racist, bro? What do you mean? Why am I racist? Like, no, like it says here, like the Somalis are committing a lot of fraud. It's like, bro,
yeah,
everybody's doing fraud. What?
Do you think this is what they meant by zombie apocalypse? Like this is the zombification of the mind, because like there's nobody can talk anymore. You're either with us or against us. Like everyone's so high tension. Jeez. It's like when do those strings break?
You guys have both read that 1984, I'm guessing. So you guys remember when they were talking about 2 minutes of hate?
Yeah. Just start screaming at the screen.
Just watch some of these protests, and when a conservative walks through these protests and you hear shame, 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 it's reminiscent of that. I'm just like, oh my god, I've read this before, I've seen this before.
Well, that's essentially what The Purge was about too, right? It was essentially just a horror movie version of 1984. It was The Purge. It was instead of two minutes of hate, it was 12 hours of it. Get it out. Back to normal.
The Purge. Yeah. Crazy. Well, do you guys want to dive into what happened in the World Economic Forum, or do you guys want to dive in what happened in Davos? Do you have anything you want to say about that there, Ajax?
I was working all day, so I didn't get the chance to go over any of the speeches, but I am just seeing like that. What do you call it? Justin Trudeau still has some pull.
Yeah. Him and Katy Perry showed up. Wow. Oh, fuck.
But no, you guys are gonna actually educate me on what's going on because I'm still doing research. So
I have no one. Brandon, this is all you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can pull up there's first of all, the general mood has Prime Minister Carney pretty much his speech was like the table is changing, adapt, learn to adapt. Countries with pressure, need to learn to diversify trade and all that stuff, but like very much saying the same kind of message that we just showed there with the new world order. that whole experience there. So, and for the most part, a lot of the conversations, like Macron, I seen his speech there too. He was saying the same kind of sovereignty and all that stuff.
Larry
But
Fink was doing that bullshit too.
it's very interesting to because like at the beginning of like 2020, before 2020, I think it was like 2019, the World Economic Forum. That's where we seen that speech from the president of that.
President, you mean the supervillain?
The supervillain, right? Where he goes off and says, like, everybody, like, you won't own anything, but you will be happy, and that was that whole what everybody went like, what do you mean by that, right? There's a lot of speculation about, like, a lot of fucking uncertainty. And he actually said back then, he was like, this is going to be the great reset. It's a time for, so back to what we were just discussing, is like, what are we feeling here? We're an animal by instinct, right? And I know for myself, these last 5 years, my instincts have been definitely on fire. And it's like, you know what? Like, is this controlled collapse to build reset into something, or is this like just a normal cycle that they're profiting off and then trying to build reset? And I think you're right, Ajax. Like, when you said the conversation where it's like, it's both. It's both, like they're learning, but like they have the chess pieces, and the average human, citizen, we just
Exactly.
have.
They don't want no borders. They don't want nothing like that. Because like, why is the World Economic Forum even a thing? Like, what are they even discussing there? I didn't vote for this. Why am I sending our prime minister there? Like, I don't give a what's happening in the World Economic Forum, but.
The World Economic Forum is essentially what NATO was supposed to be. Well, wanted to be. If you really think about it, if they wanted that much fucking power, let's all vote on this crap.
Well, then that's exactly.
It's a inclusive meeting. It's an inclusive, like it's
of non-voted in people that make decisions.
You have to be a member to be a part of the World Economic Forum. You got to pay into being a part of it. Like, it's not everybody. I think there's only 200 people that show up. That's the invite, just 200 people.
Well, then you saw the way that freaking what's his name was dressed. You're like, it seems very Masonic in way. It almost seems like it's a Masonic membership of people at the top. It almost seems like it's the Illuminati, to be honest with you. It's crazy because we're at the G10 now, right? Mm-hmm. You want to talk biblically, right? Like, you could look at eschatology and say, like, hey, they're one with 10 horns. The crown with 10 horns, or this could be the G10 as the 10 horns, right? Like, we are in position for possibly biblical revelation to happen. I have fun thinking about this, but sometimes it's scary to look at, right? Like, with Israel on the verge of building the third temple, and all of these rings showing up around the world, and
like, they already found the
World War III, and all of these crazy things being discovered suddenly, and like, if you look through the Bible, it says like things like a great knowledge will unfold at the end of time. Like, look at where we're at right now. Everything's unveiling. Like apocalypse literally means to unveil. It's not even that a bad word. It's not like fire and brimstone. It's like shit's gonna be revealed. It's just a Greek word for it. It just sounds cool.
When they were saying fire from the sky, they just didn't have a word for nuke,
right,
at the time. But I was just thinking, because when you were bringing up, like I said, what is the World Economic Forum? And then you brought NATO, and then I started thinking of the UN. It's literally all the different departments that were in 1984. Like, the World Economic Forum would probably just be like the main Department of Love, or whatever they want to call it.
The United States had a well, they have the Department of War now, but they almost had they did have Department of Truth briefly.
Yeah, what was it called? The Canada had that was the censorship one, right?
That was the censorship
Bill C9.
one.
That's basically Bill C9.
Yeah.
And then like the UN is basically like what I would call the enforcers, because they're the ones that actually go around the world.
And then they can unexist you eventually if so be it, right? Just make it, you just never happened. You didn't exist. Like it's that easy to brainwash. China has shown us that. Communist countries, especially North Korea, have shown us that. Like
That's
they've
why.
been the experiment for it for 100 years, and they go, okay, that works. That's what we want to do. That's how do we make that happen? It's the rat experiment. It's everything that has been out there, and it comes to a point. It's either you conform or what happens, right? Because this conversation, I feel probably within a couple of years is going to be so dangerous that we're going to be black bagged for having it.
Oh no, we're gonna get arrested, bro. We're gonna get arrested as soon as like that's before I get to us getting arrested. Remember how you started off the conversation? You're like, what's the timeline? What's the timeline? It's the timeline is only until America votes in a Democrat. Because I know the world economic, the powers that be are fed up. They're like, we have every single country in line. The only one that's not in line is America. Once we put in someone that can we are just gonna shut up every conservative, every talking point. We are gonna rewrite every history book. History is written by the victors, so we're gonna rewrite everything. You guys will know nothing about what happened between the years of 2020 to 28. We will know about it because we lived it, but we won't be able to talk about it because we don't want to get disappeared. Whenever you hear like the liberals or the Democrats claiming whatever the conservatives are doing, whenever they say they're Gestapo, they're just knocking on doors, pulling people out. The reason why they're saying the conservatives are doing that is because that's what they're going to do once they get in there. Liberals will always blame other people of what they're doing. They call you racist because they're inherently racist. It's crazy.
Here's my power play move. Here's the wrench thinker. I'm going to call this. I think when you brought it up earlier, I was thinking about this. I think that Premier Manitoba is going to run and win and be the wrench in the gears that's needed to stop it from both sides.
Which party?
Their own. Going to be like, we're not doing any of this shit. I think that's going to be the power play move. I think, but that's just my outside the ballpark bet.
Yeah,
because it seems like that's the only way that would be able to do it, because on all sides, you wouldn't be able to vote against any of the shit. They got everything in place, and it would be for their people, and rightfully so.
Okay, where would they get the funding?
Well, I think they would just run on ethics. They run on like normal ethics.
You still need funding. It's crazy. You like apparently like in order to even like put your name on a ballot in like for like the prime minister is like $150,000 or some shit, like $200,000. Not saying that they don't got $200,000, but you're gonna need. It's crazy. You're gonna need a lot of funding. Funding wins elections. That's why I was saying maybe if they just kind of like tapped in with Trump and said, "Hey man, if you can fund our," that's actually illegal. Never mind. Fuck.
No.
Hey, we know laws. That's good.
But it's funny to see that it's very few ways that it can go at this point, and the 1984 option is what's terrifying, because again it just becomes what's illegal overnight, right? Like, well, you can't say this word, and you said it umpteen times.
Do you think do you think Canada will have the brass to do like what the truckers did, but in bigger masses? Because that's the only really way. Like, we got to actually, like, if we want to do it the peaceful way, we got to make our voices heard. And I think a lot of Canadians got scared once their bank accounts got shut down for even supporting the truckers. So they're not going to support that shit either.
I think just having the conversation online is just good enough. Like, we're being peaceful. We don't even have to be outside. We're having a talk. And if people see it, they see it, and they spread it, they spread it. Like, because the talk is what's important. It's not about where you have it, and why would you go have it anyways, and in front of a bunch of angry people just waving their thing, not listening to half the stuff you're saying anyways, right? Like,
wasn't that just overturned? That was overturned, I think, by Supreme Court. They actually overturned that, and they said it was unlawful.
What was that?
For freezing the accounts. I think it was.
Yeah, it was. That's why. Wait, no, that was the different thing. But it was unlawful. But no one's gonna go to jail for it.
But that's the fact.
Oh no, they still did it. Got away with it, but like it's been deemed that That's not you can't. That's stretching.
Yeah,
Stretching.
but that's how you would do it, right? You go shoot first, ask questions later. That's literally what that is. It's like, okay, we did it. It's gonna be tied up in court for so many years,
Yeah.
and okay, well, the deed was already done, the damage is there, and nobody gives a shit now. Like that's what they're
How
relying
long
on.
did you hold it for? Like 48 hours, or was it more than that? Like some people probably had their bacon. Well, actually, the main guy, I think his was frozen for almost half a year. He went to jail too.
But that
Yeah.
shows you what the power they have if they ever have to declare the Emergency Act. They could do whatever they want. It's instant dictatorship. Once they go Emergency Act, it's instant dictatorship.
Mhm.
Like
And
they
if
did
they,
they did that during World War II. Like, oh, everyone had their safe bet was in gold. They're like, gold's now this like war to the state, and they would just take it from people. It's they could
yeah,
they could do what they want. They get carte blanche if that ever happens, and that was just a show of force, in my opinion, that they could do it.
once
And
they wield power, if they say something's temporary, it's never temporary. Like there's no taxes that they've reversed. Like once they did income tax just to like to feed the World War II. It's still here. They will just carpet blanket everything and just be like, okay, sorry. Wait, you want me to come to Canada? I'm sorry. I'm actually in Ukraine working with the president right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can't fucking come over there.
Yeah.
so what is the what is the black bagging event then? Like what at what point do they like we already said this conversation probably get us arrested down the road. It's just like what is the tipping point? Like we're being peaceful because it's a thought crime, right? And there's the 1984 thing, and then once you're disappeared.
Yeah.
So like at what point does that happen? Like what does our future look like? Like everyone's being distracted with UFOs and aliens in Congress, but like what is this? Like in my opinion, I think the ICE thing is just like again another beta test for what they can do.
First thing they'll do is they'll censor the internet to make sure that like no opposite ideas get pushed. And the next thing they'll do is they'll label you a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, or do whatever they can to destroy your name, to make it justifiable that when you get disappeared, they'll be like, it's not that you'll get disappeared. What they'll say is they'll be like, hey, this guy is racist. We're taking him to a school to train him not to be racist anymore. And then we'll just never see him again. Like they'll just like frame it that way. They'll frame it as a way of like education. They're like, yo, we need to re-educate these people. Just literally look at everything Hitler did, and that's what they're gonna do. They're calling everybody else Hitler because they're the ones that are trying to be socialist. Hitler was a socialist. Like,
not to be funny, but like a little bit to be funny. Like, do you think like that's what brings us to Soylent Green? With all of the talks that are happening with like the craziness with McDonald's and all that crap.
Yeah,
because these books like seem like they're falling in line.
Yeah, books and movies, they like life imitates art for sure. That's crazy. I never thought of that.
Good point. Yeah, life does imitate art, and I think documenting it is going to be harder in the future. I do agree with that, but like if we can keep it going, just kind of seeing what we see and having those open discussions, I think that's what's going to keep this fire alive on the other side. Best we can.
Just got to do a quick solar flare, or just kind of take out a grid system, wipe out the internet for like 48 hours, promise the world is going to come back, and once you get the internet back, it's not the same internet. It's not that they wiped the internet out. They're doing a factory reset because they're like, this shit is crazy. We got Grok undressing children. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, it's no, exactly. They got a mean for a cause on that, right? And that's like that's crazy, right? Like when you get like Grok and all the AI tools and stuff like that you can do that. And yeah, we do know, like in a sense, right? We're like you got your brain that just it's like a computer itself. So if you have images of people growing up in a world where there's zero control on imaging and all that stuff like that, they're just going to believe and be developing like a fucking person that's just like, yeah, no, there's balloons on Mars.
That's why they say these are our children. They train them in our schools. That's why we don't. these kids they're trying to separate kids and parents completely.
Yeah,
Just
it's
to be able
Here's another biblical thing right there. Kids will turn against their parents.
Yep.
We're at the end of
Wow.
times, my friend, and that's probably fun to, maybe not a fun spot to leave it at, but you know, it's good to have these conversations, because what I find
Yeah,
is
if you want to leave it on a better note, like I got a funny story.
Go
Just
ahead.
before, sorry to cut you off, but
Oh, no problem.
so if you look up the Canada did a mock war in Greenland, like the soldiers there, they did like what do you call it? I don't know what the
Just
word
war
is.
games?
Yeah, war games. That's what they did, like 4 different war games against like a hypothetical war against the United States, and lost all of them.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Are we even debating this at that point?
Yeah.
Bro, I would have been, if I was one of them soldiers, I would have been like, how long is this going to take? Like 30 minutes? Like, what are we doing here?
So like, how long did it take?
I don't know. I don't think they're giving details, because like
They're sitting there going, fuck, we're the excuse. Shit.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
all right,
Every
yeah.
single trans, like every power grid would be shut down. A virus would definitely a cyber attack, and all the airspace would be taken over within 12 minutes. I bet.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what?
Like that one movie.
Guys, but we're the crazy ones, right?
Oh, amen. Amen.
What a fun spot to leave it on. Ajax, thanks again for coming on. Everyone,
Pleasure.
check him out.
Thank you, Ajax.
His channel is Let's Talk Ajax. Brendan is back in the house.
Yeah, sure.
And everyone, thanks for coming on. Hopefully we can have this discussion a little bit more, and we'll just watch the world as it is, and if it implodes, at least we're there until we're not. So
Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for having me on. And like I said, whenever you want me on, just shoot me a message, and then I'll do what I can to get here. So.
100%.
Right now, my man.
Appreciate it. All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks again.